Hello and welcome to another Red9 demo. Today I want to go through one of the updates in the May release 2022. It's a really big release, there's an awful lot of stuff to go through, so I'm going to split them into little chunks. And this first one is what we call the WristLocks. Now there's a previous demo that we've gone through about what WristLocks are and how we use them, and effectively they are fast hand interactions. So it's a system that's set up within the Red9 Puppet to allow you to fast interact with weapons, with props, with other characters, etc. I'm not going to go through them in detail because there's already quite a long demo that we did previously. What I want to do specifically is go through the updates in this build. And the biggest one is the fact that when we now make WristLocks, anything that's connected as a WristLock, anything that's connected as a prop if you like, becomes part of the rig itself. And that's really important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rattle through just linking this weapon up. We've got a gun here, we've got a piece of mocap. It's the same mocap I used on the previous demo. And I'm just going to quickly bolt it together. So bear in mind how quick this is to do. There's his hand, there's his weapon. I'm going to pick a point where he should be holding it, somewhere around there, looks about right. I'm going to use the snap. I'm going to grab that, spin that weapon around so it's somewhere about correct. I'm not going to be too fussy about it. Something like that maybe, looks about right-ish. We could do some hand placements if we really wanted to, but I'm just going to get it in the right-ish sort of place. That looks about right. With a bit of finger animation, that'd be spot on. Okay, so this weapon is free. It's a completely different rig. So we've got one weapon rig and we've got the hand. I'm going to open the WristLocks up. WristLocks are there. Whoops. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to the WristLock system that this gun is in his right hand. Okay, so we go set new space. Now, I've already positioned the wrist, so I'm going to go maintain. Again, I'm rattling through this. There's a previous demo here to go through. So that is now part of the hand system. This little button here is called a backtrack, and that effectively means that at frame 62 we've aligned it, but obviously nothing knows about it because it's in control. But what I can do is I can do backtrack, and that effectively takes the data from the hand and puts it onto the gun. All nice and straightforward, okay? So that's what's taken me 10 seconds, and the weapon is now in control of that hand. I'm going to do the same thing for the other hand, so I'm going to say you're in control of the left hand. Done. Okay, so the weapon is completely in control of those two hand controllers. Like I say, there's demos of this to go through. I just want to kind of get to a point where I can show you the changes. Now then, the big change is that if I go to the hand system and I go select controllers, what you'll see is it now selects the weapon. Because what we've done through here is that when you now connect them in this new system, we connect the weapon, or we connect whatever you've told is in this aux space one to the rig itself, so it becomes part of the rig. Now that's really important for the rest of the features. It's not so important for the rest of the control systems because they work exactly as they did in the previous demo, but the real big one is that it's now part of the rig. Now the reason that's important is that because it means all the rest of the systems, the post savers, the redirectors, the Red9 anim, they all now know about that weapon, so that weapon will get stored within those files. If I do a simple thing, for example a pose, so we've got a pose there. Now I could save the pose to file, which maybe I should do. Let's do a pose save to file. Yes, we'll call it test. There's test. Now then, if I come back up here, okay, let's say that frame there, and we want to load that same pose here, I can go load, relative, load. And lo and behold, it's the same pose. But more importantly, the weapon is now in that pose, so that the pose is recompensated for space, but with the weapon as well. So it's one system. And exactly the same thing happens with Red9 anim. So if I use a fast save, which is this one here, save direct basically takes the mrig that we've got selected, or if there's only one mrig in the scene, it takes the entire mrig, takes that mrig, packages it up and saves every single thing it can physically do about that animation system. There are some big changes in Red9 anim, and we'll do those in a separate video. I'm just concentrating on the wrist stuff today. So we're going to save. We'll put it in standard library and I'll call it test delete, that one there. Yes, that's now saved. We'll open an Explorer so we can get to that file, and I just want to show you what's gone into that file. Test delete. Now then, this weapon was referenced. So in the Red9 anim, because it's now part of the rig, the Red9 anim has this new block of code that basically says, check my WristLocks, check if I've got things that are referenced, and if I have, save that data inside the file. So what you'll find down here is a new chunk that says WristLocks, and lo and behold, There's the weapon, there's the reference path, there's the system it's connected to, and the slot that it's connected to within the WristLocks. And the anim data will be down here somewhere. So we've saved it out. I'm going to go File New. Excuse me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Import Direct. Now then, the Red9 anim was saved with the rig reference, it was saved with the weapon referenced. We had the WristLocks set up so that the gun was in the left and right hand and it was driving both hands. So it's quite a complicated network. But if I go Load Direct, what you'll see is the rig comes back in. We have a frame rate warning because it's a slightly different frame rate. And lo and behold, we have exactly the same animation. Now, that's really important because it means that not only is the weapon part of the animation system, part of the rig, but it is part of the animation system as well. So every function that we've got within ProPack that deals with compensating space, moving characters, saving data, now knows about the weapon. Sorry, I keep saying it's weapon. It's not necessarily a weapon, whatever you put onto those slots. And that's a really big deal, like I say, for doing things like post caching. So cache that to clipboard, come over here. In fact, let's go to the end of that. Let's move him somewhere completely relevant over there, facing a completely different direction. Load relative. Bosh, there he is, in the same pose with the weapon in hand still. So that's all gone in, and it's really quite a big deal for anyone using the system. And if you think about the length of time it would take for an animator to usually do that in terms of tracking the locator, building a constraint, making parents constraints, and then you've got two separate systems that don't talk to each other, so you can't do things like relative poses. So it's a really big update. Like I say, we'll be doing a lot more in the next few days because there's an awful lot gone into this latest release of ProPack that we want to get people aware of. That's it for now. Like I say, check out the website. Don't forget to like us on YouTube. And if you want a demo of ProPack, check the website out. And it's all on there. You've just got to download it and play. The rig comes with the ProPack, so the test rig comes with it as well. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you soon. Thank you. Bye.